Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel Zero Analysts. As you already know, I have recently launched my first book, which is called 1000 plus SQL Interview Question and Answer. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can make best use of this book, how to use this book basically, and I'm going to solve 5 interview questions from different category from this book. You will be able to find all this question in the video description. And if you're interested to get this book, check the link in the video description. I will be also adding you a discount code. You will be getting 25% discount if you use that code. So let's open the book and we will be solving 5 problems. I also have the web access, which I will show you what is web access of this book. Now I'm going to use the PDF version of the book. So let's double click on it and you can see I have already highlighted the book. Now in this book, you would be having kind of different topics. So let me go ahead and show you the index. So if you want to see the index, let's go to the index part and we will be able to see the index of the book. So if you see, this book is used for data analyst, data engineer and business analyst, SQL developer, full stack developer, cloud data engineer. So basically any interview where you need SQL questions, you can use this book. So let's go and let's see some of the different options and topics we have of this book. Okay, we have super easy, we have easy, we have a medium, we have a hard. So in hard, I guess we have 70 questions in this category. Then we have a questions by different SQL topic. So you can practice by topic. We have, I think, 20 plus a topic here. Select statement, we have count, where conditions, group by plus having, and then we have order by, join, subqueries. So many options are there. And if you want to go further, you have a questions by, which is called company. So different company and their questions are here. So if you see Amazon ask interview questions, you'll be able to find it here. You'll be able to find it, the question that is asked in Google interview. You'll be able to find the question that was asked in Walmart interview, Flipkart, Spotify, Airbnb, and so many other company options are also here. And lastly, I would want to show you the questions by, which is called the job role. Okay, so I have also added questions by job role. So you would be able to find questions specifically asked in data analyst interview, specifically asked in data engineer interview, business analyst interview, SQL developer interview, full stack developer interview, and all this and different other roles that I have added here. You can find it from here. And if you go further, you would see 50 most asked SQL interview question and answer. Now this is the most important part of the book, because all these 50 questions are maximum time that I have noticed that these are being asked. That is the reason I have included this most 50 interview questions. So before any interview, you should be kind of covering all these questions, and you're going to expect like at least I would say 4 to 5 questions from this most asked 50 interview questions. I also have 100 theoretical SQL questions and answers. Now this is another one of the most important parts. So combinations of most asked SQL questions where you are going to write queries, and this 100 theoretical questions, you will be kind of expecting 80 to 90% questions for any interview is going to be asked from this 2 category, and rest you can go through like easy, medium, just to practice and learn the concept. Okay, we do have a super hard questions, which is for maybe if you are applying for 3 to 5 years role or maybe more than 5 years role, then you can consider solving this problem. Now these are really challenging and super advanced questions. I'm considering of making one video for each of these questions from the super hard in the futures. So I may start a new series. I have also included SQL cheat sheet where you are going to get 100 SQL commands. You will be able to get it from here. So let's go ahead and see the first question that we're going to solve in this video. So the first question is going to be question number 41. So let me just double click on it. And 41, it says find the total revenue generated by each product category for Flipkart. Okay, so this is the question, and you have the detailed explanations of the question, and you have the step-by-step approach which you can follow to solve this problem. This is also mentioned, and we do have the data sets. So here is the code which you can copy paste into your any IDE like Postgres, SQL, pgadmin 4 or MySQL Workbench or any other IDE. It's going to create the table and insert the data. Then your job is to solve the problem. Now if you get stuck, then I have added the learning, so where you can see what the topic you're going to learn in this problem, and I also have added the solution as well. So if you see here is my solution that I have included, and for Postgres SQL and for MySQL. So for mostly all the questions, you would be having solutions for Postgres and MySQL, or maybe SQL Server. Okay, so this is the first question. Let's see the second question that we're going to solve. The first one is very easy. We will need to simply do a group by. The second question says, write an SQL query to find the name of the product with the highest price in each country. Now this question was asked in Amazon, and I have also solved this question in my 30 days challenge, if I remember. So again, for these questions, I have the data set here, and you can see the explanations also here, like how you're going to solve the problem. And you just need to copy paste the data set, and that is going to create the table and add the data. Then you can solve this problem. Now it's a huge data set. You can see it here, and it's a data set of supplier and product table. Okay, so this is the second question that we're going to solve. Let's go ahead and see the third question. That is going to be the question by topic, I guess. So this is the third question. So the third question says, so for each employee, determine if they are eligible for a salary increase based on their year of services. Okay, if an employee has been with the company for 5 years or more, they are eligible for 10% raise, and if they are less than 5 years and more than 2 years, then they are eligible for 5% raise. Otherwise, the employees are not eligible for a raise. Basically, the employee who are less than 2 years, right? So this problem we will need to solve, right? Again, for this I have included the data sets, which you can copy paste into your IDE. That's going to create the table, and you will be able to kind of solve this problem. Okay, so let's go ahead and see the next question, which is going to be question number 576, I think. So it says, write a query to find the total number of writes for each user has taken. Again, this is a group by topic questions. Very simple group by and count, and you will see the data set here, and you will see my solution, which is mentioned here. Okay, then let's go ahead and see the next problem, which is going to be probably, I think, this one. It says, find the employee who attended work for 3 consecutive days. Now we need to find out the consecutive 3 days, the employee who has worked continuously 3 days without any leave, those employee records. Okay, so this is the data sets, and this is going to be the solutions part. If you see, this is the solutions for Postgres, and this is the solution for MySQL. Okay, now let's go ahead and start solving from the problem number 1. Now I refer solving using through the web version of this book. Now for this book, you get a web version as well, because you can easily navigate through each and every questions without going through all those PDF pages. Okay, so let's go ahead and open the web version of this book, and I will be showing you all this problem, and we're going to solve this problem together, because you can find all this problem in the video descriptions. So this is the web version of the book. If you see here, we have the same thing, but properly indexed, right? So let's go ahead and see the first question, which is going to be the question number 41, and that is part of the question by difficulty and medium level, and the question number 1. Okay, so this is the question that we have just discussed, which is called find the total revenue generated by each product category for Flipkart. Okay, we have the explanation. So in this question, we need to calculate the total revenue generated by each product category. The revenue for each product category can be calculated price of the product multiply the quantity sold, and the challenge is to do a group by, obviously. And again, everything is mentioned here, and also it has given the solutions that we need to kind of think and solve this problem. So we need to join the product and orders table, then we need to do a group by, and then we need to do a sum, and we need to basically find out the quantity times a price. Okay, so this is what we need to do. So here the interesting thing is that you already have a copy icon, so you can just click on it. It's going to copy this entire data sets, and you just need to go to your IDE and paste it. It's going to create the table within one run click. Okay, so this is one way, and the second way is that if you want to use the PDF one, then basically you need to go through this code. You need to copy this code from here to here, right? And then you can paste it into your IDE to create the table. Once the table is created, don't look for the solution first. Don't check the solutions. If you're stuck, then you can check the solution that I have included, right? So let's go ahead and say pgadmin, and let's go ahead and say the question number 41, which I'm solving, and this is part of which is called medium level question. And this is the question which is, we will be writing down the questions in some time. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the question. So it says, okay, find the total revenue generated by each product. Okay, simple. This is the question. Now what we want to do is that, see, I have simply copied that data sets, which is starting from product table, orders table, and then I have kind of included the product, the data, and the orders data. I would just need to click on the play icon, or in MySQL you just need to play on this. You just need to click the execute button, right? So if you see right now, it is done. It has created the table. Okay, So this shows the table is created. Now I can simply go ahead and check the table. So one is called product. Let's go ahead and see the table, right? So one is called product. So the product table is done. Let's see the data. So we do have 5 product here. You can see smartphone, shows, laptop, t-shirt and headphone. Let's go ahead and see the orders table. So I would just go ahead and just copy paste it, and I'm just gonna change it to orders. So let's go ahead and see the orders table right now. So in the orders table we have 3 columns, which has product ID, product ID, order ID and the quantity. It doesn't have the product name and everything, or price and everything, right? But if you see, we do have something called product ID. So based on the product ID, I can get the product price from the product table, because I need to find out each category and the total number of revenue that we have generated, right? So to solve this problem, first of all, we need to do a join. If you see the product table, it has more informations like the price of the product and the category, right? So we need to do a group by this category, and then this price times quantity, that's going to be our solutions. And to do that, we need to do a join, because we do not have the sales information in the product table, right? So we will start with the from. We will say from orders as O, and I would do a simple inner join, because I would want to see only the product which has done some sale. So I would say products SP, and I would say on, and I'm going to do a join based on the product ID in both the table. So this is done, and here I'm going to select the things that I need to select. So for this problem, we need to do a group by, which is by the category, so that we can find out the total sales, right? So I would simply go ahead and say that P dot category, which is coming from the product table, and I'm going to say sum of this, which is called the quantity times price, right? So it's going to be P dot price times O dot quantity, right? I guess it's called quantity. Again, I will need to check the spelling for this quantity column. So it is quantity, right? Yeah, quantity. Okay, so this is done. We just need to do a group by here, right? Group by one I can use, or I can simply use this column name. If I'm using PostgreSQL, I can use the one. That is also fine. So let's go ahead and run it, and you will see we have the solutions, each of this category, and we do have their sum of sale, right? So this was the solutions. We have solved the problem. Okay, so this is done. Let's go ahead and see the question number 2 now, right? So that's going to be, which is called this one, question number 80, right? So which is part of, I think, let me check. Okay, so I think this is a part of the hard level category. Okay, so let's go to the web versions and get this data sets from the web versions. So question number 80, what I need to find out, and I think that's part of hard category. So yeah, this is the one, question number 80. So now here, if you see in the web versions, it's very easy. You can just toggle it around, and you will be getting the, without scrolling through everything, right? So we can simply go to difficulty levels and hard, and from the hard I can simply get this question, which is called write SQL query to find the name of the product with the highest price in each country. Okay, so let's write it down here, and it's called question number 80, I think, and I would say category is hard. Okay, now this says that write a SQL query to find the name of the product with the highest price in each country. Okay, so here I do already have the product table, so they may kind of create an issue. So it's better to create kind of, it's better to start with a new query tool. Okay, so I will simply go ahead and copy this into a new query tool, and I would ensure that all the table that I have, this are kind of drop. Okay, so I would say drop table. So I had to drop the orders, because orders depending on the product table, and then I had kind of deleted this product table. Okay, so this is just because we have already the table created, and I'm still using the same data sets. Okay, same database. So right now let's go ahead and copy this code. It's going to kind of copy everything, all the product and their name and informations. Okay, so everything is done. I can just hit this run button, and if you see, this has created the product table, which has right now so many products information, which is 43 product. And we also have something called suppliers table. Okay, so here we have suppliers, which is I think 6 suppliers. Okay, so let's go ahead and understand the problem, then we will solve this problem. Okay, now first of all, we would need to kind of see what is the data set. So if you see, this is the Amazon data sets. Like in Amazon, we have a different suppliers which are from different countries, and they're listing they have listed their product, okay, to sell in specific country wherever from they are from, right? So this is the product table. This product table has information about the product ID, product name, and this is a kind of which is called supplier ID, like which supplier own this product, and this the price. Okay, so based on the supplier ID you can find out the country where this product is being listed, right? Because if the supplier is from India, so that means the product is being listed for India for this price. Okay, so this is the data sets. Now if you see, it says write a SQL query to find the name of the product with the highest price in each country. So for each country we need to find out the most expensive product based on this listing. Now how do you find each country informations? Based on this supplier ID which you have in the product table. So we need to do a join based on this product table and this supplier table based on this which is called supplier ID, and then I can get the country. For each country I need to find out the product that has the highest price, which will come from this table. Okay, now to solve this, so it's a very easy and simple approach which you need to use. So I'm going to start from which is called products. So products SP, I would say again in join, which is inner join again here, because I would want to see all the product which has a supplier ID, so and also has a supplier informations. Okay, so I would say suppliers, okay, SS, and I'm going to say on. So based on the supplier ID I'm doing the join product table and this supplier table. Okay, so the join is done. Then I would be selecting the country information which is coming from the product table, right? In the product table if you see, we do have the country informations, right? So I would simply go ahead and say select, and here I would say p dot country. So this is the country informations, and I'm going to say p dot, let's have the product name. Okay, and let's have the product price, p dot price. Okay, so just these three things I am selecting for now, and we will be able to see the informations which is called p dot country doesn't exist. So the country is coming from the country is coming from this supplier table, right? So that's the reason it didn't show up. That's okay. Right now we have the information that we need. Okay, so we have the country, we have the product name, and we have the price. Okay, now we just need to do some ordering so that we can see which product is the most expensive for India and which product is most expensive for US. So I can do an order by the country, and inside the country I can do a second order by the price in descending. Okay, so let me do that, then I'll come back. So I would just go ahead and say here call order by which is called country. Okay, and I'm going to do a second order by, that's going to be which is called p dot price, right, descending. Okay, so inside every country I will have the product that has the highest price on the top. Okay, so right now if you see in Canada we have this product which is 1899 Samsung Galaxy S20, that's the highest price. And we also have one more product with the same price, so these two products are highest price. Okay, so again here the question could be a little different, like if there is a more than two product at the same price, do you need both the kind of product, right? Because that's going to be the right approach. Okay, so that's fine. Now in India we have again two products 199, these two products are having the same price. Okay, so if you see in US I think we have only one product. Okay, now we can achieve it using the window functions, a rank or a dense rank, or you can also use a row number as well, but row number is only going to include one kind of product informations. Okay, so how you're going to do is that for these partitions you would want a dynamic ranking based on this the price. Okay, so the higher the price, the rank is 1, then the second highest, then rank 2, and so on. Same when new ranking is going to be given to this country as well. So every country is a partition here, and then we give the ranking. So to achieve it, we would simply go ahead and use here call rank here. So I can use a rank and I can use a row number, both works fine for me. So I'm going to say which is called a rank here, and this is the syntax. You say rank and you say over, and inside the over you need to do a partition by. So partition by what, which is called country. So for every country we would want to do the ranking, right? And I would say order by, which is called this p dot price. Okay, descending. So this order by is not required right now because we have done the order by inside our window functions. Now if I run this query, it is going to give me the ranking. Okay, so right now if you see, one ranking is given to the product which has the highest price in each country. So this is 1, then 3, then 4, and in India this is 1. And if you see in the US, we would see that this product has the highest ranking. Okay, now I can simply filter by saying that get me everything from this where the rank is 1. I can use a subquery or city, anything works fine here. So I can simply save this call with and rank table as, and I can just put this in a parenthesis. Okay, and from this above rank table I can select whatever I want, right? So because I need to filter the data based on this, which is called rank, so that's the reason I need to do CT here. Okay, so I would say select everything from rank table. So what is the name? It's called rank table. So let's go ahead and select rank table where rank equals 1. Okay, so this is going to select me only the product which has the rank 1. Okay, so this is going to give the product from each country that has the highest ranking, because we have kind of done the order by inside the window functions. Okay, so this is done. If you want to use the row number, that's going to kind of give you one product. Okay, so only one product from one country. So if there is a two product, it doesn't filter out both the product, it only filter out the one product. So let's go ahead and check it. I did not select it, the whole query. I think rank does not exist. So okay, here I need to just select as rn, and I'm going to say rn here. Okay, so let's go ahead and select it now. So right now if you see, it is only selecting three tables. Okay, so this and this. Right now it is only selecting the three row data from each country. So right now it is only selecting one row from each country, the first one. Okay, so it doesn't care if there's one more product with the same price. Okay, so this was the question number 2. Let's go ahead and see the question number 3 now. Okay, so the question number 3 is I'm going to get it, that was from the case statement. Now again, I would say the web version is much better, because in the web version you would be having the access to the live data. So I will be adding more data and more questions in the web versions. So let's go ahead and find the questions by the which is called a topic. So we would be selecting question by topic, and from here I would be going to case statement, and from the case statement you can see I have a question which is called question number 230. So this one we're going to solve, which is called employee tenure and the salary adjustment. Okay, this is what we need to get the question. So I would just use multi-line here, and this is fine. Let me just organize it, so make it readable. Okay, okay, I think this is perfect. Let's go ahead and get the data set. So this is a part of question number 230, and just call case statement. Okay, so I'm going to include all this question in the video descriptions. So let's go ahead and get the data sets. Okay, so the data set is going to be, we have which is called employee table here. Okay, and I have this data, and I'm going to add two more employee name here. Okay, just to kind of, so we have the data here, right? Let's go ahead and execute it. So it's going to create this employee table, and I can simply show you this employee table data. Okay, so if you see the employee table, it has the data of all the employees. Okay, so what we need to find out, the people who has been with the company for more than 5 years. So we're gonna give them a raise of 10% in the salary. For the people who are kind of, you can say more than 2 years but less than 5 years, we're gonna give 5% raise, and the people who are less than 2 years, we do not want to give any raise. So if you see, John is been with the company, which is since 2018, so it's more than 5 years. So obviously John will be getting 10% raise, and this one I think it's kind of not more than 5 years, but is going to get the raise of 5%, right? So this is what we will be doing. Now to solve this problem, we will be using case statement. Again, this is a topic of this question is part of case statement topic. So I will show you how you can solve this. Okay, so let's go ahead and start solving it, right? So I'm going to include all this employee, and I'm going to use a case statement to find out how long the employee has been with the company based on this hiring date. Okay, so I can simply go ahead and say case, and I would say, which is called when. Okay, and when I would say when this hire date. Okay, so now we need to find out this hiring date, the hire date that we have. Okay, from that date to today date, what is the difference in the year? Okay, so what I'll be doing is that I will be using something called extract functions here. Okay, and for MySQL you just need to use the year functions, that's it. So extract year from this hire date. Okay, so what I'm saying, when this year from hire date. Okay, so again I'm just building the logic. I'm saying extract year from hire date, and I'm going to minus it from the current date. Okay, so how do you get the current date? I would just need to simply write the same line again. I would say extract year from current date. Okay, now let me show you what it does. Okay, if I just simply print this, which is called extract, and I would say extract this year from current date, you can see it is extracting 2025. So we are seeing, okay, year from current date minus C. The current date year is going to be the bigger one, because from the current date, if you extract the year, it's going to be 2025, and if you extract the hiring date, that's in the past, so it's going to be maybe 2018, 2020, 21, right? So this is fine. Okay, so this is what we want to do now. After this, okay, I'm going to check this year minus this, and this should be greater than 5 years. Okay, so here I can simply use a 5. If this condition fulfill, then I can simply say then what, which is called 10%, right? Then 10% raise. Okay, then 10% increase or raise, whatever you want to write it down. So I am using here extract year from current date minus extract year from the hiring date must be greater than 5, then I will be giving 10% raise. Okay, so then I will be using between. Okay, here I will be using between, and I would say again between and n. Okay, now what I will be doing is that I'm going to use one more when here, and I'm going to say between n. So I would be using the same logic again. Okay, I'm saying extract the year from current date minus the extract year from hiring date. Okay, and this is, I'm going to use between, and I'm going to say between and 2 and 5. Okay, so here the thing is that this, the age 2, the year 2 is included, also to year 5 is included. We can again check the question. It says for each employee determine if they are eligible for a salary hike based on the service. Okay, if the employee has been with the company for 5 years or more. Okay, so basically here what you need to do is that we would need to include the even the 5 years as well. So we would say greater than equals to 5 years, then even if they completed 5 years, they are eligible for 10% raise. And here we can simply say between 2 and 5. So if in case the employees is falling between 2 and 5, then we will be giving a raise of, which is called 5%. Okay, now again here you can include it 4, because if it is under 5, if it is 5, it is automatically going to fall into this, right? So we should be mentioning 2 or 4, or you can mention 5 as well, because the first is going to check. If it is 5, it's going to include it here, and if it is kind of 2 and 4, 4 means like 4.99, right? So that's going to fall into this 5%. Else what? Else no raise, right? No percentage raise. Okay, this is what done, and I need to kind of just close the case, which is using AND logic. Okay, now if I just run this query, it's going to give me all the employee and their information. So if you see, this employee John has got a 10% raise because has completed more than 5 years, and this one got 5% raise, this one got 10%, this one got 10%, and if you can check, all this informations are here. Let's go ahead and add one more employee who just recently joined. Okay, so let's see what will happen. So I will just go ahead and say employee maybe 8, and I'm going to just name it call Ellen, and I'm going to say the joining date is going to be 2024, which is less than kind of 2 years. Okay, 2024-01-01, and the salary is going to be 65,000, something like this. Okay, so again 65,000, this is just a dummy data, so I would just need to kind of run this query. Okay, so let's just add only one row, right? So I would simply go ahead and kind of uncomment it and add this row. Okay, just to give you an example. So one row is being added. Let's go ahead and run this query, and let's see if in case it can identify this employee who just joined. Okay, last year's. Okay, so if you see, this employee just joined and no raise. Okay, so this is how we verify that yes, this query is working perfectly fine. So this was the third question. Let's go ahead and see the fourth question now. Okay, so it says write a query to find the total number of writes each user has taken. Okay, very simple one. The simple group by what you need to do to solve this problem, and let's go ahead and get the data sets, this one, and let's get this data insert statement. So let's go ahead and click this run button. It is going to create the table and insert the data. So we're going to say select everything from writes, and if you see, we do have right now this all the problems, and we do have something called user ID. We need to find out each user and how many writes they have done, right? So very simple approach. We would simply need to do a group by the user ID, and then we can count the number of write that user has done. Okay, so for that we can simply go ahead and say from, which is called rights, and I will be selecting call, which is user id, and I can simply say count of right id, and I just need to do a group by, right? That's it. Group by user id, right? Group by one is fine. You can use a one or you can use a user id. So if you see each user and number of rights they have taken, if you want to kind of see each user and how much money they have spent, then you can just simply add this affair. So for that you can simply go ahead and say kind of sum of fair and as total spend, right? So this is how you can build logic and solve this problem, right? Let's go ahead and see the next question, which is going to be question number 782, and that this is part of question by, I think, job role, so which is we talked about earlier. So this is the question: find employee who attended work for 3 consecutive days continuously, okay, without any leave. So this is the problem. Let's go ahead and get the data sets. Okay, so this is the table statement and this is going to be the data sets. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this query. It's going to create the table. So we do have a table called attendance, and we need to find out the employee who have continuously worked for 3 days, okay, without any leave, which we call consecutive work. Okay, so if you see right now here, this employee 1 has attended the work on the first, which is 10th of Jan, then 11th of Jan and 12th of Jan. Okay, so continuously 3 days. And if you see the second employee, which is 10th, 12th, 13th, so this employee did not kind of attended the work for 3 continuous days. But I think the third employee 10, 11, 12, so this employee also qualify. Okay, so this 2 employee has attended the work at least 3 days continuously, right? So we need to find out their kind of informations. Okay, this is the task. Now to solve this problem, we can use a simple approach which is called window functions lead and lag. Okay, because using lag you can access the previous row data, and using lead you can access the next row data. Okay, so let's go ahead and select the attendance date here. Okay, and right now what I want to do is that I will be selecting this attendance date again. Okay, just to solve this problem. See, I am selecting the same attendance date 3 times. Okay, so first by default I have it here, and I'm going to select maybe here, which is called employee id and attendance date one more time. Okay, so we have selected attendance date, which is 3 times, and the employee id. Okay, so the first one I will be calling it kind of the present day. Okay, so I will be selecting this one and I'm going to say as present date. Okay, so basically as the present date, what I'm naming it. Okay, and this one I would be trying to access for this employee. I would be trying to access the previous row of this data. So if you see, there is no previous row, right? So obviously I would not be able to access it, but in this line I would be able to access the previous row. Okay, so here the previous row is going to be this one, and this one I'm going to put it here. Okay, so same way here what I will be doing is that I will be trying to access the next row, which is going to be this one, and this one I'm going to print it here. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to do here. So I would go ahead and say that as present date, and I'm going to say this one I'm going to use window functions here. Okay, that's called lag. Okay, so I would say lag, and I'm going to say, which is called over partition by attendance, no, partition by employee id, partition by employee id. Okay, this is what I have done, and I'm going to just select this. In this attendance I'm going to select this, then using lag I'm accessing the next one first. Okay, the previous one first. Okay, and here I'm going to say that prep attendance date. Okay, so this is the previous attendance date. This is done, and we're going to do the same thing, but I'm going to just use the lead here. Okay, so we will say lead. And why I'm using this partition, because I would want to kind of make sure for each employee I am using this window functions separately. Okay, so this is fine. I will just add an order by here called order by attendance date. Order by which is called attendance date. Okay, and here also I would be doing order by attendance date, just to ensure that they are in the the order by limit. Okay, so they're in ascending orders by this date. Okay, now if I just run this query, you will be getting the result. So I would just need to make sure this is, I do not need any more, so let me just delete this and run it. Okay, so right now if you see this, for this the employee one, the first date is showing that the present date, and there is no previous record found, so it's giving null. But the next attendance date, it is here. Okay, I would just need to give, it is called next date. Okay, let's give a next date name. Okay, short, and let's give a previous date. Okay, which is a short form, and let's the current date. Okay, so let's go ahead and run it now again. And if you see right now for this row, I have the current date, the previous date is missing because the employee didn't come till here. So this is the first day of that employee. Okay, so the previous date is missing, but the next day, yes, the employee did continued for the next day. So that means I still cannot say this employee continued for 3 days consecutively, but I can say that 2 days consecutively because current date and the next date is there, right? So if you see this one, this record shows that this employee has kind of the today date, which is here, and then if you see the previous date is here and the next date is here. Okay, so that means this employee, what we are looking for, because this employee, it shows that okay, this is not null, this is not null, this is not null. Okay, and the difference between each date is going to be 1 day. If you see the current date to previous date is going to be 1 day, and if you see this current date to next date is also going to be 1 day. Okay, so this is how you're going to identify, yes, this is the employee who continuously worked for 3 days. Okay, so anyways, the employee who has not worked for 3 days, that's going to be filtered out now. Okay, now to solve this, what I can do is that I can save this data in a CT or subquery, and I can use that code, right? So I will be using a subquery here. I can use a CT as well here, and I'm going to name it call maybe A. Okay, and from this, what I'll be doing is that I'm going to first of all select, what I want to select is that select the employee ID. Employee ID, what I want to select, and then I would want to kind of simply select the employee ID, and I'm going to use a where condition here. Okay, now I'm going to build my logic here using where conditions. Okay, so I can simply go ahead and say that current date here. Okay, so current date, and I would say simply equals and the previous date, right? So if I add 1 day with the previous date, it is going to become current date, right? Isn't it? So this is how I verify that okay, this current date and the previous date, the date difference between these two is 1 day. Okay, so and here I can say plus and interval 1 day. Okay, so this is done. And next what I want to do is that this condition must be satisfied. Okay, and then what I will be doing is that I will be saying current date. Okay, now current date equals the next date. Okay, so for the next date I need to kind of minus from the next date 1 day. Okay, or I can add 1 day here. Okay, so I would simply go ahead and say that next date is going to be bigger, 1 day bigger than the current date, right? So I would simply go ahead and say plus and interval 1 day. Sorry, it need to be minus, so I would say from next day, if I minus 1 day, I will be having current date. Okay, so if this condition satisfy, then only I would want to see the result. Okay, now I can simply go ahead and run this query, and it is going to give me the employee who has worked for 3 days. Okay, so I think there are some syntax issue. So here I forgot to add from. Okay, so now let's go ahead and run this query, and if you see, it is giving me the employee 1 and employee 3 twice, because this employee 3 satisfied twice. We can simply go ahead and kind of use a distinct here. Okay, so again, that's not mandatory, but just to kind of avoid confusions. So if I just use a distinct, I will be having employee ID 1 and employee ID 3 who have attended work for continuously 3 days without any break. Alright, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video till the end. Now if you want to get my book, you can check the link in the video description. I have also added a 25% discount code, so use that code and get the book and practice yourself and ace your next data job interview. And if you have any doubt, any queries, you can let me know in the comment box. Have a good day, take care, bye bye.